Hi guys, it's Miss Bentley here. Welcome to today's fraction lesson number 1. Today we're going to be playing a fraction game, and there's something you need to get ready for the game before you can play. So there's a couple different options for how you can get ready for the game. Here is option number 1. You can open up in the Google document that you'll get in Google Classroom. I'll show you the document again. It's called fraction lesson number 1. It will open up to a Google form that looks like this. Option number 1 is to click on this Google document here, and it will take you to a pre-made fraction spinner. And if you have access to a printer, you can print that out and use that for today's game. If you do not have access to a printer, you could also just draw this exact same spinner on a piece of paper like I did. I just drew a circle and split it into 6 and then labeled 2 of the pieces 1/4, 3 of the pieces 1/8, and 1 of the pieces 1/2. If you're not able to do that, then you can also just use small scraps of paper and again use those same fractions that you see on this spinner on 6 different pieces of paper. So 3 1/8 pieces of paper, 2 1/4 pieces of paper, and 1 1/2 pieces of paper. Once you have that, if you chose to use the spinner option, you will need a paper clip or a binder clip or a safety pin of some sort to use to stick between or a pencil through to create the spinner part. If you decided to use scraps of paper, I'm just going to put those inside of a cup and I can use those to play the game. Once that is made, then you are ready to play the game. The game's directions are after here. So here you'll put your name so you can turn in this assignment later. Here you'll see the video that I'm making right now with you. And then after you will see the game. You'll need to open up this link that will take you to a blank fraction strip board, which will be our tool for the game since we don't have our physical fraction strips in front of us right now. You'll open it up and it will come blank. The first thing you need to do is put 1 hole on there. The object of the game is to be the first one to make 1 hole. Some of you might have played this game before we left for distance learning. Some of you, this might be brand new to you. So the directions are on the document, and then I will play the game a couple times through with you. If you're playing the game with a spinner, you'll get your spinner paper, you'll get your pencil, and your paper clip, safety pin, or binder clip. You stick the pencil through one of the ending loops. You stick that loop in the middle of your board with the pencil, and then you'll flick the paper clip and it will spin around. I can't do that elevated like that, so I flick it around. I get 1/8. So for my first round, I'm going to put 1/8 piece there, and then on another piece of paper or a Google document. And if you don't have access to paper, you're going to write 1/8 on that with a plus sign. If you have the option to play with another person, that person will spin, or if you're choosing to use the cup, just draw one of the fractions out of the cup. They got 1/8 too, so then they would put 1/8 down here. If you're not able to play with another person, you could just play with yourself and do 1 row, or you can play as 2 different people. It's totally up to you. Player 2 will do the exact same thing player 1 is doing. They'll record the fraction that they got and put a plus sign after it. Then it goes back to player 1, or if you have 3 people, you can play with another person. You'll draw another fraction or spin again, and you'll put that fraction on your row. You'll keep doing that until somebody gets to exactly 1. You only have the option of doing 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2 pieces. So if you got to this point and the next one you drew was 1/2, you couldn't do that because that would be greater than a whole. Your fraction pieces have to equal exactly 1 whole. Remember that as you continue to play, you need to record the fractions you draw each time in an equation form. So I have 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, which matches what I have here. The only way for me to win this game is to either get one more fourth 1/4 piece or 2 1/8 pieces. The first one to get to a hole wins. You should play this game 5 times through. Once you've played 5 times through, then you can go back to the Google form and you can answer a couple questions that relate to the learning we just did. I did stick an example in here of the fraction strips so you can see them, or you can use that the virtual fraction kit to help you answer those questions. You can just clear off the game board by clicking them and dragging them back down, and it will get rid of them. There are a couple questions to ask about equivalence, and then one question to answer about what you learned about fractions. Once you've answered all of those, you can hit submit and it will send it to your teacher. Please let them know if you have any questions at all, and we'll continue our fraction learning. Thanks. Bye.